Let's go. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we're bringing it live and direct tonight. If you've noticed, it's a little dapper this evening. We are some real Americans own What's Good America. Folks, we had to change it up a little bit tonight because, as you all know, in 6 days, we will be electing our next leader of the free world. So tonight, we are bringing you a real American debate about real shit that you care about, sports and everything else around it. I am that American that rose from a crack in the ground to be a rose. I am America's dream. I am your libertarian conservative Christopher A. Turner. And I can show you my taxes. I can show you my date of birth and the birth certificate. But my opponent can't. And my right-hand man on the left-hand side, he's my left-wing conservative on the conservative left-wing side. Yes, Echo, but I don't give a damn. James, big game, he will not show you his taxes, Walton III.
What's good, America? I'm glad to be here today to speak in front of the millions and millions of our fans that we don't have yet.
Lies.
But I will say this. I will show you my tax returns. You know why? Because I do TurboTax every year. Click, 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 click. And it goes right to paying off them loans, America. So that's where we at in this world. Now, as you can see, my opponent, he looks really like what I would call a baby Suge Knight right now. I feel like all things death row are happening there. So I'm glad that we did bring a moderator to keep us in check. You guys know this guy here. He is a legend on this show. We are glad to have him back. Dallas Leslie, welcome. I just
Dally
glad to
Dimes
have you here to keep us in order, man.
Well, we got to have some order to this show. And I will not be showing anybody my taxes because I'll get beat up when people find out how much money I make. For what I do, we're just going to leave it at that. Nobody needs to see these taxes. So we're just going to, the Leslies are not hurting. So.
Cheers to that.
We got YouTube, and we got a little presidential debate. And people that follow this show have seen the recent episodes, have heard the conversations. We heard how Walt will never put LeBron in his GOAT conversation, how Magic was a dog. We got into the old Allen Iverson Philly teams. We got into Big Ten football.
Trash. It's trash and it's lies.
Well, let's just start with something. Let's start with the topic real simple. We'll just jump right into the NFL. We're right in the heart of the season. We're halfway through the fantasy season. We're not quite halfway through the NFL season. Different topic. But let's just get right into Does Mike McCarthy finish the year with the Cowboys?
If you don't mind, I'll go first.
Okay.
I'm going to say that he does finish the year with the Cowboys, mainly because he is under Jerry Jones's thumb. Any success that happens for the Cowboys all goes back to Jerry. Any losses, Jerry can point at Mike McCarthy. So honestly, and excuse my language, but I'm a real American, so I say what the Americans think. Because Mike McCarthy is such a fuckboy, Jerry Jones will keep him on his staff. So to answer your question, Mike McCarthy will continue to be a Cowboys coach, and they will continue to be trash. Turn to 2020.
Well, hearing how bombastic my opponent is in obvious form that he would be, that he would flaunt gold at a debate, I just don't understand what that's really all about. and bite it like some sort of Georgia bulldog. Anyway, the point here is, does Mike McCarthy deserve to finish the season? I believe really is where we need to come to. And does he deserve to finish the season? I would agree with my opponent that yes, through a myriad of injuries, when you have your entire starting O-line that you came into the season with are all either on IR or have not played in recent weeks, you've lost your franchise quarterback. That can really do a lot of things to you as a head coach, to where you're 2-1 and now you're 2 and whatever. They're 2 and suck. Should he be fired? Absolutely. When you've lost the locker room as fast as he's lost the locker room within not even 7 weeks, that says something about your leadership. And me as a player, I don't believe that I would be able to play for a guy that can have us all united, especially in tough times. So should he be able to continue? Yes. Does he deserve to continue? No.
That wasn't the question, sir. If you could just answer the question, will he finish? Nobody asked if he deserved whatever. Nobody gets what they deserve. You get what you work for. And I work to be in this seat. So answer the question.
Will Mike McCarthy get fired? Then yes. I will say yes, he will get fired. If they do not win the division, Mike McCarthy will be fired. Now that's saying a lot, because it might only take 5 wins to win this division at the rate we're going. 5 wins might get you to the playoffs, which is insane, because these guys are bad. This is like some of the worst football I've maybe ever seen. So to me, yes, if they don't find a way to win a division, I believe Mike McCarthy will be set aside, and there are a lot of up-and-coming prospects that could probably rally people around that star with the talent that they have. So I'll go with yes. Excuse me for giving the political, correct, proper answer, giving respect to a Super Bowl champion coach, because that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to be about everyone and giving everybody an opportunity. But obviously for you on that side, it's all about, well, let me just have it this way, and that's it, because that's all it is. So, you know what?
I answered the question. It's what I did.
Did you?
Let's just remember this. This is what's good America. Leave the politics out of it.
Well, I mean, if he's going to run for 2020 the way he's saying, I mean, I might as well set myself up for 2024. It'll be a landslide.
Fair enough. Well, I'll take your answer, and I'll basically tell you 100% chance he's going to be fired because they ain't winning that division. Philly's starting to get healthy. Philly's going to run away with that division. Book it. So here's one. Now, we've seen New Orleans. I'm not doling out points. I tell you what, we'll dole out points when we get the answers at the end of the year. But, so we have heard rumblings in one New Orleans locker room with a certain injured wide receiver and some question marks about if there's some unrest in the locker room. We see a team in their same division who has now vaulted to the top of maybe the entire NFC as the favorites to come out and represent the Super Bowl in Tampa Bay. And they just went and made quite the signing from a guy we know his past in the last couple of years. I mean, this is his 4th different team in the last 2 years. So here's my question to you two. From starting today, who in any situation, who would you rather have on your roster? Michael Thomas or Antonio Brown?
I would like to go first.
Okay, and let me just preface this. We're just talking this year. We're not talking 8 years down the road because age can play into this in past production. We're talking week 8 to end of this year.
900 catches, over 1,100 yards, 90 touchdowns. Now, I don't have the exact numbers, But those are Antonio Brown's numbers. Enough said. Floor is yours.
I would like to agree and allow me to expound on his point. I'm going to go with Antonio Brown as well, but here's why. If it was an even playing field, I would go the other way. But for the wide receiver that's in New Orleans right now, you're playing for a team that for some reason signed Jameis Winston as a backup quarterback. You let Teddy Bridgewater go. You have a quarterback who said some real sketchy shit in the beginning. So if I got an injury, I might nurse it a little while longer just to let this asshole suffer. So long story short, I would go with AB because all the bullshit that he brings off field could get canceled out for what he does on field. And I feel like Tom Brady's a big enough leader, one of maybe only 2 quarterbacks that can taper him off to where he can just do what he needs to do for the football season.
See, I was trying not to let you talk yourself into possibly losing this point. In the sense that you did agree with me with that guy. First, let me put some respect on Michael Thomas's name. He does have an NFL record that's astounding by breaking Marvin Harrison's record. That was phenomenal. He's a guy that's built like the prototype, 6'3", 215. Catch radius is insane. He catches 90% of the balls that comes to him. I mean, that's impressive, and I'm all for that. Here's the reason why the 900 for 11 to 1,200 yards and the 90 touchdowns means something. And what you really wanted to expand on, Chris, is this, is that Antonio Brown, just like Michael Thomas, can both play inside and out. But Antonio Brown's ability to truly beat you over the top is why. Michael Thomas is probably as good as it gets from 5 to 12 yards. The only other guys I can think of that are even in his area conversation are your Keenan Allens. That's a great tactician. You got guys like Tyler Lockett recently that have done some good things in the slot that do well there. That's for the moderator. But to me, what Antonio Brown really can do just a little bit better than Michael Thomas, who has the ability, is run 0 through 9. So I will let you try to come back in this conversation if you could explain 0 through 9, Chris.
And that's the route tree, sir. I fully understand that because I am honestly the greatest lineman that has ever played wide receiver. So, and the only way I could possibly lose a debate to you is if I didn't say anything and I would still have a 50% chance of winning.
Well, I think the one thing that's not happening very well in this debate is the fact that we have yet to disagree on something. I really would like to go at your head, but I mean, right now, you're very, I don't know, Celebrity Apprentice type right now. I don't, I'm trying to keep from names, but
Oh,
let's go.
There we go.
Let's change. Let's just take a little detour. We started it off asking a question if somebody finished the season. Does Antonio Brown finish the season in Tampa?
I mean, this one I'll take. There's no doubt in my mind Antonio Brown finishes the season.
Lies. Fake news. Fake news.
100% he finishes well.
No doubt in my mind. This is not anything that has to do with what I've done. This has
Fake
to do
news.
with, basically to me, I have a theory. It's a real crazy theory. What if Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell somehow plotted this?
Not that smart.
What if at the end of the day, they put themselves in positions on these teams that were already good, but they have the ability to give them maybe that extra notch that puts them both in a position. Antonio Brown hasn't been there in years, but when he was there, he was a rookie and a young guy. So you really can't take that to him. But
they started out on teams that were already good. Like they started out on the Steelers team that had an arguably the best three-headed monster at that time. So why would they leave that organization, which was pretty well ran, to go be a fucking Jet for a year and a half?
Where was that defense rated when they were there, though?
Middle of the pack.
Offense wasn't the problem for when they were not making it to the Super Bowl. It was the defense was getting roasted in playoff games and not making plays. So
what you're saying is you need a defense to win championships.
Oh, I've never not said that. I've never.
So what you're saying is your years in arena football are pretty much wasted because if it wasn't for me, you would never ring.
I'm going to stay on topic and talk about whether
he's dodging the question. Dodging the question.
But we're trying to stay on topic here. I mean, the question was about Antonio Brown finishing the season and why he does. Not about the fact that I had to carry your Division I 5-star behind to a title. That's not what we're talking about here, okay? We're talking about Antonio Brown, and we are talking about why he'll finish. Antonio Brown honestly has one more contract left. And if he can't do it in a situation where he can show humility, where you have one Hall of Famer, one Pro Bowler, and an all-pro guy already there, if he can go in there and not disrupt that and be a model citizen, and not only that, they at least win a playoff game minimum, if not get to the championship game, which is honestly what I predict. I actually said episodes ago, whatever team Antonio Brown goes to, they are going to basically be in the championship for whatever conference he was going to decide to go to. I'm the guy that said that. So basically all I'm doing is backing up what I said months ago, that yes, he'll finish the season because he's going to give his team a chance to win. So that's me. I have the same rhetoric, America. This is who you want, not a guy that just says stuff and wears a smooth watch and wants to throw that in your face. And he just wants to be all up in the video, popping bottles. That's all he wants to do. He's not about what's happening in the nitty-gritty of what we need. This guy, look at the glass he's drinking out of. Mine says cheers, America, because I want to drink with you. All his says is put my pinky up and stick my nose up at America. That's how I feel about my debate guy, right? That's how I feel about him debating against. Terrible.
First of all, America, allow me to apologize for the young man who just spoke. He knows not what he says.
I'm sorry. Did you say young?
I call him. He's a young man, and he's a young man. Mentally,
that's a new word.
Mentally, he's a young man.
Mentally.
Now, let me go on record by stating this first. If it wasn't for these Division I guys on that defensive line, because there was 3 of them, you wouldn't have seen the ball as much as you did.
America, once again, we're getting off topic. And I wasn't talking.
I just want to point that out.
Like it's talking about
you had a problem with Division I guys. If it wasn't for those 3 Division I guys, Alabama, Southern, and Michigan Southern, whatever that gangrene ass school is. If it wasn't for those 3 guys, some of those offensive possessions wouldn't have been there.
Oh, I'm not worried about the 2 all first team, all league guys. Basically cold defensive MVP guys. No, those guys, those are not the guys I'm talking about. There's one
but
guy.
You brought up Division I. You brought up Division I. So when you bring up Division I, so is that jealousy or is that the fact that you were segregating us from everybody else?
No, there's only one Division I guy on that team I had to carry, and he wore 99. And he used to call himself Dr. Outlaw.
First of all, I didn't call myself anything. That name was bestowed upon me by the people who I'm here to defend.
That is a lie, America. He gave himself that name at the blood bank that's on Grand and 13th Street. I was there. You know why? Because we were getting our blood drawn, and he put on a lab coat, which at this time now thinking about Corona, he might have gave everybody Corona in 2009, putting on lab coats.
Fake news. Fake news.
And started calling himself Dr. Outlaw. He actually tried to prick 10 people for no reason. We're there to sign autographs and get our blood taken, not this guy.
Listen, I went to school several years, which gave me knowledge enough to know exactly what to do.
Really?
Now, to get back on topic, as I have to carry this show once again, no, Antonio will not finish the season. What's going to happen is, oh, you lucky this shit's about to end. What's going to happen is
carry the show.
Once Godwin comes back, There'll be some kind of fight in practice or some shit like that. He'll get suspended for one game because of something he did off the field, and then it's a done deal. He'll implode all by himself. Point. Turn to 2020.
Let's really evaluate what you just said. When Godwin gets back, Chris Godwin had a touchdown last week. I mean,
he broke his finger, so he'll be out this game. At least.
Sounds like possibly the next 50-50 for week 9 as well.
So it's some.
Since you want to keep bringing up 2009. Mr. 2020 candidate, I'm smart enough to know not to run until 2024. But since you want to just go ahead and just pop in right now, a week before, would a broken finger keep you from a Super Bowl opportunity?
Well, to answer your question, we come from a different time of football. We come from a non-pussification of football. So you play until you can't play anymore. Now, these kids now come from a very hey, does that hurt? Okay, sit out. You're fine. We'll have somebody else come in for a little while. So it's the pussification of sports, the game I love, and the country that I love. Pussification.
Well, I can agree with them on this, America, because I don't know if you can see that, but it's been broken about 4 or 5 different times. Never missed a snap. So I agree with them that Antonio Brown will finish the season. Walton Ron Burgundy 2024.
Oh my God.
Does anybody challenge the Chiefs in the AFC?
I'll let you have this one, sir.
I think it depends. I think it depends on who gets home field. If they have to go to Pittsburgh
with no fans, what's home field mean?
Weather. I'm just thinking of mainly weather. That's it. Like if you got to go to the East Coast from the Midwest, I get it. The Midwest gets cold, but I don't see them. If they have to go to Pittsburgh, no, Pittsburgh will win. If they get home field, then no, nobody can challenge them.
I'll just go ahead and do like my opponent said that I didn't do on the first debate topic. No one can challenge them. And to me, it's as simple as this. Patrick Mahomes, by his standards, has played very pedestrian football. That should be the scariest thing in the entire NFL. I actually was sitting at work today, and I really thought about, like, what Patrick Mahomes is. He's like a combination of, like, every great quarterback Andy Reid has had. And Andy Reid has coached a lot of great quarterbacks. And he has all their great qualities within this 6'3", mohawked, light-skinned package. It's incredible. He has all the best intangibles. Donovan McNabb's legs and ability to keep plays alive. Alex Smith's ability to not turn the ball over very often. You know, he's got the gunslinger like Favre, you know, in him. And then he brings all sorts of Mahomes things that are just there. I mean, I think about, you know, guys that have had great arms. Favre's there. I think Mahomes has got him by about 6-7 yards. And that's saying something because I've seen Brett Favre throw 55-yard touchdowns to Sterling Sharp from the other numbers on the – that's like an 80-yard throw he threw to Sterling Sharp. It's one of the greatest throws in the history of football, no doubt in my mind. So as long as you got that guy, you've got a Le'Veon Bell who's seeking one more contract. You got a receiving core that, honestly, they interchange parts and they find a way. Their defense is solid. That's all. There's just no way. They've got enough stars on both sides. I don't see it. And I would love to be proven wrong because that would be great for football. But no, it's going through Kansas City until Patrick Mahomes says no mas.
Yeah, it will certainly be interesting to see with Pittsburgh's defense, but I think that loss of Devin Bush,
that hurts.
That will be that'll be the ultimate telltale, I think, because they did have that ultimate spy in him. for that defense with Kansas City. So
can we agree I think they did a good enough job versus Tennessee. I mean, Tennessee's a great football team. So can you win against a team like that? So what would happen if they played them again without Devin Bush again? Do you think that the same result happens?
Yep.
That's my thing about, saying that Pittsburgh can challenge them. And I think Pittsburgh's really the only team that can challenge them. They have the balance.
They do. And I don't necessarily know if Tennessee and Pittsburgh meet in the playoffs. I don't know if Tennessee doesn't win that game. It came down to a field goal that, Tennessee's offense did not play well in the first half.
Nope.
Big hole. Derrick Henry quietly had his 80 yards and a touchdown. And we've all seen what he does later in the year.
He's built by them.
Yeah. Everybody else kind of wears down, and he just gets stronger. So
Bama factor.
I would love to see those two teams meet again come December, January time. So let's just jump into one NBA topic real quick. What does this championship for the Lakers do for Anthony Davis?
I will go first.
Today's game.
I will go first, and I'll be brief and I'll be direct, unlike my counterpart. This championship for Anthony Davis in the 2020 bubble does, and I believe this isn't a Chicago term, so you may have to look this up, but it does jack and shit. Nothing. Not a goddamn thing. He got a ring now. He can say I'm better than Barkley. That's about it. I'm better than Ewing because I got a ring. That's about it. He's not an all-time great yet. Like, he has to do it on his own.
Wow.
The floor is yours. And mainly because he's from Chicago is another reason why I give him shit. He's fucking overrated. Fuck him, man. Mount Carmel or Simeon High School and Bricktown and every other city in Chicago, suburb or whatever.
I mean, America, again, my opponent, he just continues to flip-flop. Weeks ago, he talks about how he was in agreement that this was one of the hardest championship accomplishments that have ever happened.
But he had to go get help. Just like that's why the main reason why you don't like LeBron, because LeBron had to go get help.
First and foremost, I've always loved LeBron. I didn't like LeBron for 4 years. I have made that clear in the show. America.
So you don't like somebody out of a period of their life? What does it say about you?
It says a lot about me because he shit on my city. So I'm being 100. He chose Miami over Chicago.
Can you blame him? He didn't want to get shot on his way to practice.
So shot in Chicago or stabbed in Miami. Either way, it's pretty violent. So,
stabbed in Miami, clearly?
I mean,
no. Hold on. Let's be clear. It's January weather, Chicago. January weather, Miami.
I'd rather be on the beach.
But he never left Cleveland. We got the same weather as Cleveland. Bottom line is, it means everything that Anthony Davis has the ability to say that he's an NBA champion. And the fact that he carried LeBron to that frame. Go look at the numbers. That's taking nothing away from LeBron, but this is the first year where you're like, all right. To LeBron's credit, Father Time has taken an ass whooping. This was the first year where it looked like, man, if he didn't have that 7-foot kid from the crib, wouldn't have got there. Anthony Davis, congratulations on making yourself a first ballot Hall of Famer, my guy. God bless you.
All right, I got to interrupt real quick because we're about to end this one. This has been a debate section of What's Good America. Make sure you're doing it. Tune into the next Zoom, subscribe, like us, all that good shit. All we want to know is what's good, America. Turn to 2020.